Gavel. We'll call the Committee on Higher Education to order. We will begin as a subcommittee. And we are going to begin with item 3, Assemblymember Stone, if he's here. He was here.
He was. Was he the tall guy that was
Yeah. Okay, now we just told Ms. Olson that she could come in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So do we want to go to the next one?
We'll need to go to the next one. Is Chang here? So member Chang.
Okay, is he here?
Chu's here.
She's.
Okay.
Nobody's.
Chu's
Oh.
here. Mr. Chu is
Oh, yes.
all buttoned up.
Yeah?
Mr. Bonter's not here either.
Okay, we are going to go next then to item 6, Assemblymember Chu.
Mr. Chair and colleagues, I appreciate your consideration of AB 404, which would allow our community colleges and their stakeholders to evaluate the performance of accrediting agencies and provide increased accountability. At the outset, I'd first like to thank the committee staff for their work with my office, and I'd like to accept the amendment suggested by this committee. This bill would require our Board of Governors of the California Community Colleges, as part of the federal review process of accrediting agencies, to conduct a survey of our colleges to solicit feedback that is anonymous, data-based, and aggregated into a report for the federal body that reviews accrediting agencies, the National Advisory Committee on Institutional Quality and Integrity. Historically, as you know, the California Community College system has not had a meaningful voice during the review process of an accrediting agency due to fear of retribution, lack of notification to community colleges and stakeholders, and scarce local resources. The accreditation process significantly impacts our California Community College system, as we recently witnessed at the City College of San Francisco, where the accrediting agency's decision to revoke accreditation has threatened the forced shutdown of the largest public school in our state. The accreditation process should be transparent, but our CCC system lacks a method for soliciting feedback from our community colleges, students, faculty, and other stakeholders to deliver feedback to the federal government on the performance of a regional accrediting agency. This bill would provide a pathway for meaningful feedback from our community college system so that we have greater accountability for the performance of our accrediting agencies. I have our bill sponsor here, the Faculty Association of the California Community Colleges, and I'd like to recognize to testify in support Mr. Dean Murakami, the president of FAC.
Hello, Chairman Medina and committee members. My name is Dean Murakami. I'm president of the Faculty Association of California Community Colleges, and I'm urging your support of AB 404. First of all, I wanted to let you know that accreditation review is absolutely vital to the process of ensuring that our colleges are up to high academic standards and their students are being served at their best that will improve student learning outcomes. And in addition, it assures that our institutions are financially sound. But AB 404 is not about local accreditation activities. It's about good governance. The California Community College system is the largest system of higher education in the United States, and it's critical that our regional accreditor performs at the highest standards of excellence per the criteria that are evaluated at the federal level. The recent findings by the state's joint legislative audit and the recent court decisions demonstrated that there are significant deficiencies within the accrediting commission for community and junior colleges. These concerns are not limited to City College of San Francisco, but this has been a very long concern of community colleges across California. According to a recent report by the California State Auditor, a sample of 4 colleges spent nearly $530,000 in fees to ACCJC over that 5-year cycle. This would suggest that over $3 million a year is spent on fees to ACCJC by the 112 colleges in the state. In addition, even more money is spent each year by colleges to reassign faculty and staff to work on local accreditation teams. No other ongoing appropriation of this amount by the state with state dollars will go without a regular review of its performance. For these reasons, FAC asks you to support this measure. In addition, we do want to also say that, the recognition of ACCJC is done by the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and it's very difficult for many local community colleges to go to those meetings and give an accurate perspective of the performance of ACCJC. Having a local Board of Governors to be able to facilitate that within California would allow much better feedback to ACCJC, much better transparency. And so for those reasons, we strongly urge your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Jennifer?
Good afternoon. Jennifer Baker with the California Teachers Association. We don't yet have an official position on the bill. We'll have our state council meeting this weekend, but I did want to note that this bill is absolutely consistent with the goals that we've been trying to achieve when it comes to accreditation.
Thank you. And we'll stop for just a moment to ask the secretary to take roll.
Medina.
Here.
Baker.
Here.
Bloom.
Here.
Chavez. Harper.
Present.
Irwin. Jones Sawyer.
Present.
Levine. Linder. Lowe. Santiago. Weber. Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Other witnesses in support?
No, sir.
Any witnesses in opposition? Any questions from the committee?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move AB 404.
Second.
We have a first by Mr. Harper, a second by Ms. Baker. I just want to thank the author for bringing it forward, former community college trustee who have been through several accreditations. I know how important it is to our community colleges, and I thankful for your bill giving the opportunity to community colleges to weigh in on how the process goes. Mr. Williams.
I just want to clarify, is the motion move with the amendments that are mocked up?
Yes, thank you for that clarification.
Okay, great. Because I think this is important. I really appreciate you bringing this forward because it does have additional oversight and accountability, and I think that's a good thing. My only hope is that as the struggles over sort of the particular case of one community college, it gets hashed out, that we don't see a movement to downgrade the accreditation standards of the community college, because regional accreditation is important. It sets us apart from the privates. It's why public education has a better standard, and I believe that what we need to keep on doing is keeping those standards high. And I really appreciate the author for being willing to take the amendments, and of course, with that, I would love to be added as a co-author.
So the motion before us is do pass as amended to Appropriations Committee. Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Medina.
Aye.
Medina, aye. Baker.
Aye.
Baker, aye. Bloom.
Aye.
Bloom, aye. Chavez. Harper.
Aye.
Harper, aye. Irwin. Jones Sawyer.
Aye.
Jones Sawyer, aye. Levine. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye. Lowe. Santiago. Weber.
Aye.
Weber, aye. Williams.
Aye.
Williams, aye.
Thank you, colleagues.
8-0.
8-0. We'll keep it on call for other members to add on. Next, item 2, Mr. Holden. I'm sorry. Item 1, Mr. Stone. Yeah. Okay. Item 3. Mr. Stone and Ms. Olson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Professor Medina. I think I have a bill that I know you're going to like. Since you're a joint author, I'll take that liberty.
So that's
And
a
first, I'd like to say,
recommendation of
yeah, I appreciate the work that your consultants have done with my staff on working through this bill and ensuring that we're not going to negatively impact the Student Aid Commission and looking at the logistics. So I'm very happy. I agree with the path that we're on, and I appreciate their help. So what does this bill do, AB 206? It helps to solve a problem. DREAM Act students, through the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, have work permits. They're here. They're going to school. They are some of our best and our brightest in our schools. But the challenge for them when it comes to federal work-study dollars is the federal program will not provide any aid to them. And some of our UCs are trying to look at a way to keep those students there, give them give them what they need in order to stay in school. Now, the federal program subsidizes 50 to 100%, depending on the program, of the work-study wages for those kids. And in a program like this, with employers contributing, we can greatly expand the reach. So these kids are here. They are working. They have their work permits. But under that loophole, federal aid is not going to apply. California, as we do again and again and again, needs to step up, help fill that gap, keep those students in school, keep those students progressing towards their goal and becoming appropriate folks in our community today. That's what this bill is all about, closing that gap, funding for those students to be able to meet their work-study needs. And I have several witnesses with me in support. We've got some students. I'm not sure if they're going to made it up yet, but hopefully they'll be here in time.
Joseph Vigela on behalf of CHIRLA, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles. Some of the students are caught up in the lines outside. But CHIRLA, for the past 2 years and a half, we have been outreach to more than 100,000 individuals that might be eligible for deferred action for young adults. In addition to that, our legal department has filled out more than 10,000 applications for those students. Many of those students are able to go to class and be able to fulfill their duties as a student. However, they'll continue to work at a McDonald's, for instance, to subsidize their work. This bill, in our perception, will allow them to be fully more integrated into the universities, into their college campuses, but more importantly, will give them the opportunity to build up their resume. So that way, when they graduate, they have that work-study program under the belt instead of just being working at McDonald's. That's some of the stories that we have heard of individuals that they have work permits, but they cannot be able to go into the work-study programs in the field that they want to because of the federal rules. This bill seeks to clarify that, but more importantly, fulfills some of the steps that California has done in trying to integrate them more and continue to invest in them.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. Erica Romero on behalf of the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities in support of this legislation. We know that DACA students have their work permit, they have the right to work in this country, and they're strongly motivated. What they don't have access to is the federal financial aid program, and so by creating a state program, we are enabling these students to get the work experience they need. We know that students are much more likely to get hired straight out of college if they have good work experience, and it's not just the McDonald's. And work study would allow them to get experience in their own field. And so we know that the number of students who have filled out the DREAM application is close to 30,000. They would be required under the amendments to have filled out the application, so we know they're financially needy students, and we urge you to adopt this legislation to enable them to get the experience they need. Thank you.
Any other witnesses in support? Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Miles Nevin, and I'm with the Cal State Student Association. We represent 460,000 CSU students, and we support this bill.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. First time. Good afternoon, members of the committee. Mr. Chairman, Christy Bauma here today on behalf of the California Federation of Teachers. For equity and access reasons, we are pleased to be in support of this measure.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Christopher Castrillo on behalf of the California Faculty Association. Our PA Ledge Committee has adopted a support position for the bill, going through the process of finalizing that. Letter forthcoming, but we're pleased to support this legislation. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and members, Willie Pelote, representing the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, in strong support of the bill.
Any witnesses in opposition? Questions from the committee? Nope. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Have motion by Ms. Weber, second by, who was it? Joan Sawyer. I just want to thank Assemblymember Stone for bringing this up, introducing the bill. As a former high school teacher, you know, I saw many students who were graduating, outstanding students going, who weren't able to go to college years back. But now with AB 540, they are. And I think we're moving in the right direction by introducing this bill, giving them not only financial aid, but the experience that they need that is so valuable, as you said, in looking for employment. The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Madam Secretary, if you'd follow the roll.
Medina.
Aye.
Medina, aye. Baker.
No.
Baker, no. Bloom.
Aye.
Bloom, aye. Chavez. Harper.
No.
Harper, no. Irwin.
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Jones Sawyer.
Aye.
Jones Sawyer, aye. Levine. Linder. Lowe. Santiago. Weber.
Aye.
Weber, aye. Williams.
5-2, we'll leave it on call. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members.
Now we're going to take up Holden and Olson. We're doing this as a courtesy to both. And it is item 4.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. I appreciate the opportunity to present Assembly Bill 288 this afternoon. Existing law allows high school students to enroll in community college courses concurrently with their high school studies. Assembly Bill 288 enhances concurrent enrollment opportunities by encouraging school districts and community colleges to form college and career access pathways, a formal agreement that outlines the terms and goals of the partnership. These pathway agreements also specifically expand access to concurrent enrollment programs for students by specifically authorizing college courses to be offered on high school campuses exclusively to high school students. 2, it increases exposure to college coursework and environments for underserved students by specifically authorizing community college districts that have formed a career access pathway partnership to grant limited priority enrollment to those students. 3, accelerate learning for students by creating a framework that allows students who demonstrate competency to up to 15 units of community college coursework instead of 11 units. According to James Irvine Foundation study, concurrent enrollment can help low-achieving students integrate into a college environment, increase the likelihood a degree program will be completed, decrease the length of time to complete a degree program, and stimulate interest in higher education among high school students. Assembly Bill 288 is supported and sponsored by the California Community College Chancellor's Office, the California Community College League, and the Los Angeles Community College District. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Appreciate the accommodation. I miss sitting up there with all of you, so thank you for your passion for higher education. Last year, you may recall, I called this bill a game changer for workforce readiness, and I still feel very much the same way, and I'm proud to be joint authoring this bill with Assemblymember Holden. There are so many reasons for us to expand dual enrollment opportunities for students today. 1, it helps keep kids motivated in school. Two, as Assemblymember Holden suggested, it can quicken time to degree completion, and it can also lower costs for college later on for these students and their families. There are so many reasons to pass this bill. I appreciate the committee's past support for this in even stronger forms and urge the committee's aye vote today.
Witnesses in support.
Great. Mr. Chair and members, Vince Stewart with the Community College Chancellor's Office, and we are one of the co-sponsors of the bill, and I would like to thank Mr. Holden for his authorship of this measure. We do believe that this will enable more students to take advantage of dual enrollment opportunities. We believe that it will focus on developing better pathways from high school to college and enable students to become both college and career ready. As Mr. Holden indicated, this bill would create college and career access pathways, which would require district-level partnerships, which we think are critically important to the sustainability of these types of programs. We also think that it would enable dual enrollment to reach a broader range of students and to focus on career technical education pathways as a way of engaging those students. We also believe that this will help really be an effective tool to reduce students who might need to have remedial instruction in math and English when they get to college, and hopefully be able to intervene in partnership with school districts in that senior year to give them the instruction that they need to become both college and career readiness. So for those reasons, we're in support of this bill and urge your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair and members. Mark McDonald, McCallum Group, on behalf of a number of local community college districts, including Kern, Los Angeles, Peralta, Pasadena, San Bernardino, San Diego, San Francisco, South Orange County, West Kern, Yuba Community College District, as well as the Los Angeles College Faculty Guild, all in support. In the interest of brevity, I will say that traditionally concurrent enrollment has been a one-off program where successful students go and take courses and earn college credit and then move on to higher education. And these are students that are going to be successful anyway. Lately, community colleges have looked at concurrent or dual enrollment as a student success tool, and this bill sets up a statewide framework where colleges can reach out to more non-traditional students that may not be on a college or career pathway and set up a structure so that those students are more likely to matriculate to college or into the workforce. This incorporates some of the best practices in other states and in other pilot projects where dual enrollment has been successful. So because of that, we would urge your support. Thank you.
Other members from the public in support?
Nicole Munoz-Murillo with California State University in support.
Thank you. Mira Morton here on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce, also in support.
Ashley Satude with Nossaman on behalf of North Orange County Community College District in support.
Selena Pryor Dansby with SEIU Local 1000, representing 95,000 state workers, also in support.
Erica Romero on behalf of the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities in support.
Casey Elliott on behalf of Coast Community College District and Kings Canyon Unified School District in support.
David Butler on behalf of the Sacramento Metro Chamber and NextEd, its education workforce affiliate, proud to support. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Michelle Underwood on behalf of the Association of California Community College Administrators and the Oakland and Fresno Unified School Districts in support.
Brendan Tuig on behalf of EdVoice in support.
Hi, good afternoon. Lizette Neverett on behalf of the Community College League here in support. We also have a group of students that would like to just say a brief me too.
If the students would come up to the mic. All the way to the front.
No one wants to be the first one.
Right there.
My name is Elizabeth Harvey. I'm from Orange Coast College, and I support Bill 288.
My name is Lila Mullins. I'm from College of Marin in Marin County, obviously, and I definitely support this bill. I have benefited from it, and it provides amazing opportunities for students. Thank you.
Any other members wanting to speak in support?
Good afternoon. Norma Ambriz Galaviz, president of Merritt College, and I'm in support of the bill strongly.
Hello, my name is Daniela Calderon, and I am attending CSU Chico, and I am in support of the bill. Thank you.
I'm not seeing anyone else in support. We have some tweeners.
Good afternoon, Jennifer Baker with the California Teachers Association. Last year we were not able to find a mutual agreement on the bill, but I wanted to extend our gratitude to Assembly Members Holden, Olson, and the work of the Chancellor's Office. We have a support if amended position, and I'd like to recognize the tremendous work and very positive conversations that we had to try to achieve the goal of helping to fill in the gaps when it comes to career and college readiness. And this bill is an excellent first step. We do have two amendments that we would like to see to the bill, which we've communicated. One is noting who the employer of record would be, and this is to make sure that we're checking all the boxes in regard to K-12 and community colleges, because there are many different federal and state mandates, particularly for our K-12 credentialed faculty, that we need to make sure that those boxes are checked, and we're working with the Chancellor's Office and Assemblymember Holden's office on that. And the other is a broader discussion, because we are working to make sure that we're closing loopholes and closing gaps. We want to make sure that we're going to be able to capture all of the support that's needed for these students that may be served. So, for example, if we're going to be supporting students with these dual enrollment programs on a high school campus, what does differentiate them from receiving the same services at a college campus is they would have easy access to a plethora of services that are also available to students at a college campus. If a community college course is being solely taught on a high school campus, that student may not have the direct access to services that they may be able to be offered at the community college. We want to make sure that there's going to be a very positive contribution from both the high school and the community college. So as they're putting these agreements together, they're thinking through what might we need to do to provide intervention for these students if we notice that they may not be doing well and they may need some additional support, that they've already thought through the various things that they might need to do to help support these students through the process, and to also make sure that we have transparency and accountability when it comes to success, that we're evaluating the success of these students, and if it turns out within a few years the program may not be as successful as we've hoped, to make sure that we're doing our due diligence to make sure that these students get what they need, because the last thing we need them to have is an unfavorable perception of what community colleges are, especially at the high school level, because we want to encourage them to not only complete high school, but be college and career ready and to be successful at the next step. So we thank you, and we really look forward to working with Assemblymember Holden's office and the Chancellor's office on this bill.
I'm gonna go back to witnesses in support. Any other students or witnesses in support, if they'd come forward?
My name is Jeffrey Navarro from Chaffey College, and I support concurrent bill. Yeah, concurrent enrollment, yeah.
Kevin Tromer on behalf of Compton Unified School District, in strong support. We'd like to thank the author for his leadership. Thank you.
Juliana Kilpatrick from Riverside Community College District from Norco College. I completely support concurrent enrollment. We're fortunate at our college to have a high school built in that are also already taking classes at our college. So,
Any other witnesses in support?
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Vincent from Mount San Jacinto Community College. I am in support of concurrent enrollment.
Witnesses in opposition?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Ron Rapp. I'm representing the California Federation of Teachers. We represent 100,000 members. 25,000 of those are community college faculty. I want to thank Assemblymember Holden for working with us and his staff for working with us over the course of the development of this bill. They have accepted a number of our amendments to the bill. Although we do support the premise of this bill, we have one final amendment that we'd like to see. We have taken a position of support if amended. One of the things that I did is I reached out to our community college leadership and talk to them about this provision of the bill. One of the provisions of the bill allows for community college faculty to teach remedial classes on a high school campus. Our members believe that's problematic. They do not believe that they should be the ones teaching remedial classes on a high school campus. We have requested an amendment to the bill to strike that language, and we are committed to working with the Assembly member to get that taken care of. Thank you.
Other witnesses in opposition?
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Epstein. I'm director of the California Environmental Technology Education Network. I've got over a decade of experience working with the high school, career, academy, and pathway programs. We are opposed to this bill unless amended to include a section dealing with articulation agreement reform, because we feel if that is not included in this bill, it will be a decade before that issue is taken up seriously. The specific reforms we are looking to deal with in articulation reform is that to allow the high school academies to be able to make articulation agreements with any community college in the state without the limitations to community colleges in their district unless there is permission from the local community college district. The second reform that we need is that the credit that's earned through credit by exam is granted to the high school students at the time that they complete the requirements, rather than being withheld until the students complete 12 units of residency at the community college, which the articulation agreement was with. Bringing in articulation agreement reform will reach a much broader group of students than just dual enrollment. The reason for that is because articulation agreements are based upon outcomes and mastery of the skill sets rather than seat time, and by doing that it allows the high school academies to work the requirements and criteria of the course into their schedule rather than being by the semester academic calendar of the community college. So that means instead of pushing everything a semester, they can extend it out a year, or in well-sequenced academies, multiple years. And this allows greater integration of the topics that relate to those community college courses that would be articulated into the academics that would increase retention by the students and its usefulness for the students. It also would lower the cost on this process to the taxpayers because it does not require hiring a community college instructor. The instructor is there to oversee that what the high school teachers are delivering, and the students by whatever final product is the criteria for granting the credit. So it will lower the costs. For the students, it has the advantage that many of the courses that we are talking about within the high school academies are non-A through G, so that by being able to earn the community college credit through an articulation agreement, that those credits become college level if they decide to make a 4-year application. I like to remind this committee of statements made by former Senator Rod Wright a couple years ago that in his district the students have 2 tracks, college preparatory and the penitentiary. And by expanding out and reforming our articulation agreement process, we provide a more flexible way to provide students success. Assembly members Holden and Olson, using baseball vocabulary, you've got a bill here that's a single. By bringing in articulation agreement, you can make it a home run. Thank you.
Questions or comments from the committee? No. I want to thank the authors. As a high school teacher, and a community college trustee, it's unfortunate that so many of our students enter community college. At Riverside Community College, it was 85% unprepared to do college work. So I applaud you, the intention of this bill to make more students prepared. And as a former teacher, I see how students can act and behave and do differently given a different environment. And I know that many students will benefit from concurrent enrollment. Do I have a motion?
Second.
First by Ms. Weber, second by Mr. Harper. The motion is due pass to the Education Committee. Madam Secretary.
Medina.
Aye.
Medina, aye. Baker. Bloom. Aye. Bloom, aye. Chavez. Harper. Aye. Harper, aye. Irwin.
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Jones Sawyer. Aye. Jones Sawyer, aye. Levine. Aye. Levine, aye. Linder. Aye. Linder, aye. Lowe. Santiago. Weber. Aye. Weber, aye. Williams.
8-0, your bill gets out of committee. I will keep it open for other members to add on.
Okay, and Mr. Chair, let me just say, just so for the record, that we will continue to work with CFT and CTA to continue to address their concerns. But I must say also on the record that we don't want the perfect to be the enemy of the good. And we're trying to do something good here, and we know that it's incremental, and we do appreciate this committee's acknowledging that and moving the bill forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have item 17. Ms. Chang.